All right, joining us now. Indeed, the whole world's bat country now, bat crazy. The founder of the American Islamic Forum for Democracy, a brave man, an admirable man. Every time I go to turn my back completely on the faith over there, I think, Dr. Jasser's Muslim. There got to be good cats in there. Author of A Battle for the Soul of Islam, a American Muslim patriot's fight to save his faith. Dr. Zuhdi Jasser, welcome back to the show, baby.
Oh, it's always great to be with you, Dennis.
Hey,
I missed you. Hope you're doing well.
I'm doing good, man. Let me get you a glossary of terms up front because I got 8 terms I go through. Islam is the religion, right?
Yes.
Muslim is everybody who practices that religion, or is that just a few people?
Yes, Muslim are those that follow the faith, that believe, that identify that Islam is their faith.
And Arabs are part of, there are Arabs who are Muslim and Arabs who are not Muslim, or are they all Muslim?
No, Arabs is a race that speak the Arabic language. So 20% of Arabs are Christian, and obviously they can be of all faiths.
All right, because these terms all get thrown around, and I'm thinking, I wonder if the lay people get it. All right, Dr. Jasser, what's happening in the world over there? I saw a heartbreaking story this morning. I hope it's not true, but you remember they showed that picture of that Turkish freedom fighter girl who looked like she was Anna Kendrick or something from the Sing-Off movie, and she had evidently taken out a lot of these bad guys. And have you heard that rumor that they got her and from the picture that they published and beheaded her?
Yeah, that she's been targeted and now she's disappeared, so we don't know. Our prayers are with her. I mean, this is the thing. There's so many stories of heroes, especially women that have been subjugated by ISIS and the radicals. And, you know, there's so many fronts in the wars there. It's not just ISIS, but Assad's regime now. The Washington Post has reported yesterday that there have been 18 episodes of using chlorine gas by Assad in the past 2 weeks alone.
Wow!
So it's horrific what the populations there are living through.
Yeah, you want to check the made by label on some of that gas too, and I think it comes in from Iraq. Let's talk about the front moving to heartbreakingly Ottawa, Canada. Tell me what you know. Tell me your thoughts. Tell me what that nut was driven by.
Yeah, I have to tell you, if I hear lone wolf or self-radicalized again, I think my head's going to explode.
Right.
I get it. That's what that's what we have to call them. But these aren't lone wolves. They are certainly susceptible for whatever reason, but they are being driven by a virus that is political Islam. And the primary threat that radicalizes them is this mantra of anti-Americanism, anti-Westernism, and they are joining the conflict. And it's become more difficult for them to travel to Syria or Turkey or Iraq, so they're going to do their acts here. And whether it's a guy wielding a machete in New York or in Ottawa, this guy, in no way anyone's going to call it workplace violence when he had posted a video of the jihad he wanted to do. And people are, you know, the mantra has been, where are Muslims condemning the violence? It's not about violence. It's about, you're either an American patriot. That's why they're targeting police and military. You're either an American patriot that believes in defending this country, or you're a jihadist that's against the West, that's against our military, and you believe in being a soldier for the jihad wherever it is. And that's why, some of the more militants will carry an axe and do something crazy, but it's not crazy. It's part of the ideology against the West. And
part
that's
of the drill.
Lines.
Yeah. The video couldn't have been more of it was almost basic in a white snake nature about his conversion. But once again, I see the attack winnowed down here, the language being used, driven by ideological and political motives. So even in Canada, they're going to go way out of their way to just say this was a jihadist, right?
Well, I mean, I wish I could tell you things were much better in Canada. Certainly, Prime Minister Harper wasted no time in calling it terrorism, and he used the term Islamism. But underneath that is they just had a report of the public threat of terrorism in 2014. No mention of Islam or Islamism. No mention of the ideological threat, because groups like CARE dominated that report out of their government. So they're suffering from the same D.C. disease of political correctness down below the level of the Prime Minister.
Yeah, Mark Stein faces more aggressive behavior against him up there. or for at least a year and a half, 2 years of his life for a McLean story than these guys are going to. You know, when I see these three Denver girls, Doc, I think back and I think, all right, it used to be hitchhiking, right? You'd hear stories about kids, girls, and hitchhiking. You'd go, oh, my God, how crazy kids are. Then it moved on to somebody had an open goatskin flask at a concert, and you just took a swig out of it, and you were, tripping in the desert for 3 days. I guess the new equivalent of hitchhiking and drinking out of an open goatskin flask at a concert is now flying there to join ISIS, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's those teens that are susceptible, that are looking for redemption, that have felt to be victimized and that the world is against them. They want to go do something so that they can enter the gates of heaven. So you combine redemption with a sense of an entry to heaven, with a sense of fulfilling a new faith, or they're born again into the Islamism that they now believe in, and you have a toxic combination that's going to pull them away from being Americans. And the only antidote to that, it's like our Muslim Liberty Project. We teach our youth that there's no country that gives them the freedom to practice their faith more than America. So you can't counter that by saying, oh, please hate America less, just don't be violent. That's an apology.
Right.
But the only way to counter it is being positively patriotic about how wonderful this country is. And Muslim groups just aren't doing that. There's none of that messaging in the internet. So these
how's about every mosque in America hold a screening this Saturday night of Not Without My Baby, or whatever the story about Betty Mahmoudi is? How's about every mosque just says, all right, we're going to have a screening for the kids this weekend, and instead of Grease, we're going to show Not Without My Daughter, and just give somebody an idea of what's going on in that part of the world as far as women getting in and, let's say, finding it infinitely harder to get out. We're talking to Dr. Zuhdi Jasser. He is the founder of the American Islamic Forum for Democracy, a man I admire greatly. His roots in Syria, and so therefore I always like to dial it into his homeland. You gave us a little glimpse saying Assad, I can't remember the exact number, but chemical weapons, but where does it stand in Syria? Do you sense any underlay of I guess that you can't have an uprising against a guy who was, Hafiz Assad's son, or they'll just scrape your town overnight, right? But where's Syria? I have a minute, Dr. Jasser.
Well, basically, Syria, the good thing is we're finally using force to decimate ISIS, which in some ways is going to give Assad a blip up and be stronger, since they are also an enemy of his. But ultimately, it'll decrease the fronts. The good guys in Syria, if there are any, are the Free Syria Army that are not jihadists. There's jihadist elements, but those that aren't jihadists, as ISIS go away, that front will go away, and they can focus on Assad and hopefully the end of the genocidal regime of Assad.
All right, so where do we find those 8 guys from the FSA? That's like finding a needle in a haystack, brother. You can follow Dr. Jasser on Twitter at Dr. Zuhdi Jasser. That's Zuhdi. You're a good cat, Dr. Jasser. I admire you immensely.
Time, Dennis. God bless.
All right, God bless you.